Oh, we got Morgan calling in.
Yeah.
Morgan, how's it going, bud?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Just living the dream, my friend. What are you up to?
I am back in the office today. I just spent my entire day yesterday trying to catch a big bluefin tuna on one of the offshore boats here. Those big bluefin have been moseying around our coast for the last 3 years, and still trying to get one over 150 pounds. So
Jesus, we need to talk about that.
Does that mean you've caught them less than 150 pounds? Like, what's the biggest one you've caught? Oh, this is Freddie, by the way.
Like maybe a 80-pounder on the bluefin.
Yeah,
but,
just a baby.
It's
just a
just
little
crazy.
baby. Just a baby bluefin.
Wow. Yeah, right.
Swimming around like a baby.
It is a baby. For the ones they've been catching. They've been getting them close to 400 pounds, but a lot of them over like 200.
Jeez.
So,
wow.
yeah.
Well, Morgan, we really appreciate
so
you
that's
calling
what I was
in, and you're with Hobie, and I've been, we've been talking together for years, like actually since the beginning of the series. I believe I met you at Nautical Ventures, and yeah, man, we still got to get you to the Sailfish Smackdown, at least one of these tournaments. But give the viewers a little background on you and how long you've been with Hobie and how all that's working out.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I have been kayak fishing since 2000, and started off, had a bunch of different kayaks over the years, and a friend of mine forced me to try this funny looking pedal drive system. And I kind of looked at it and thought, what kind of joke is he trying to play on me, or what kind of gimmick is this? And I tried it, and 3 minutes later I was just blown away and had to get one. So I got a Hobie and started fishing off of that thing, and then guided a little bit for a couple of years off of La Jolla, California here, and then have been working directly for Hobie for the last 8 years, and worked at a Hobie dealership before that. So got a big passion for kayak fishing. Good thing is I still have it even after eating and breathing kayak fishing almost every day of my life. But so do all the product development, work on the sales and marketing side of things for Hobie Fishing, and it's been a fun ride hanging on while the whole sport's kind of taken off and grown. So and that's about it.
I mean, what I think is great
Hobie's
about
been around.
I think what's great about what you do, Morgan, is that like people see you on the water. You're that guy that's just doing it. You're catching the fish. You're using the product. You're showing that it works. You're showing that you can catch any type of fish you want to catch. I mean, you're in the water with these things. I mean, it's that's something I really respect about what you do. Is that you're a hands-on kind of guy. And I'm very similar. You gotta get your hands dirty sometimes and just show the people what it's like. And it's a passion, and it's a lot of fun as well.
Yeah, for sure. I think what you said right there is I try to live that experience that like our customers, the people who are buying our kayaks and accessories and stuff, live, because I want to make sure that what we're doing is making sense for everyone and coming across the right way and all that kind of stuff. And I think it's the same with you and the tournament series, man. I know how much work and effort goes into those things. And on tournament day, when you're behind, when the photographs are going off and the videos are being made and stuff, you gotta make it look easy, right?
Oh, it, man.
And stuff, but there is. Yeah, but I know there's a lot of hard work that goes into it, and it's kind of the same thing for me. I'm in the office majority of the time, but most people think I just kayak fish for a living. But those are on the weekends or overtime days usually.
Morgan, when I tell people I run a kayak tournament, they go, "Oh, is that like your side thing? Is that?" And I go, "No, I do that full time." And they're like, "No, really, you do that full time?" I go, "Yeah, I do it full time." And it's just funny because I get asked that all the time. It's funny. Let's get fishing wise. with your bluefin tuna, man, like, how do you, like, I can't even, like, think about to begin with that. Like, you go out there and you're just, like, targeting these things on the kayak itself?
No, so this was not, I wasn't kayak fishing.
Oh,
we have a big
okay.
giant fleet. Yeah, we have a big giant fleet of boats that fish out of San Diego. So I was like 70 miles out to sea yesterday on a 65-foot boat with 28 other anglers on the boat. So kind of like a party boat or charter boat that the guys use for fishing like the red snapper and stuff. It's kind of the same thing, but we actually did last year or the year before, I think, a lot of anglers did actually hook into bluefin tuna and land them from their kayaks, including Kevin Nakata, who works here at Hobie also.
Yeah, I know Kevin.
Like a 40-pound. Yeah. So unfortunately, I never got out during that time when they were around, but there was about a 2-week window where guys were catching yellowfin tuna and bluefin up to like 40, 50 pounds. That came in close enough, but it's kind of a rare deal for them to come that close.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome, man. Well, I really appreciate, you guys' sponsorship with us and, giving us a chance in the beginning. And, as you know, like we're with Nautical Ventures and those guys have been great friends of ours for years. And when I went in there, they were the only guys that weren't like, dude, you're crazy, man. Like what you're talking about is nuts. I can't sponsor that. So, having you guys, along the ride with us has been awesome. And man, I got to get you out to the Sailfish Smackdown because it's something you got to do.
I know. Let's get it on the books for this year. When is it or something?
So the Sailfish Smackdown is January 27th and 28th. And man,
okay.
we actually going to have Jim Salmons come down for it and a couple other guys from Hawaii that are coming. So, man, I'd love to get you out there or at least get you as a judge.
Yeah, for sure. Was that the tournament where they called all the wahoo in? Because that's the one I want to go to.
Oh, that was the last Summer Slam. Yeah, man. I'll tell you what.
Was it?
Oh, my God. That tournament was unbelievable. I mean, Fred, as an angler, like, what was it like for you? I mean, seeing that. It was
brutal, first of all, because I didn't catch one of those. There was like a baby whale wahoo. That thing was a giant, that thing that John McCroy caught. And there was multiple ones in that tournament. It was crazy. Like, some of us catch fish and some of us don't. Mostly I don't. And you come back to the beach and the only thing you want to do is grab a beer, but you just see all these giant wahoo and you're like, where were these things when I was out there for the past 7 hours? Like, I didn't, it's fishing, man. But those fish were just giants, man.
Yeah, it was, Morgan, it was epic.
Amazing.
I mean,
nice.
The biggest one was 71.9 pounds. Then we had a 59-pounder from a guy from Cuba. And then we had I believe a 48 and then a 36. I mean, it was crazy. But how we did it was we dialed it into the moon. So the August moon is when that wahoo do the run. And, we got that dialed in because we had a 52-pounder caught the year before. So, yeah, man, if you could make it to just one of the tournaments, it'd be great.
I would love to, yeah. If I can't make the January one, then I'm definitely going to come out for the Summer Slam. So
sweet,
and I want to fish that one too.
Sweet. Oh yeah. Man.
Anyways,
what
I gotta say, Joe, it's been you're talking about Hobie being involved, but what you guys do is I think one of the most fun and exciting events. So for anyone listening to this podcast, like get out there and check out the tournament scene and Joe's been doing a fantastic job with the extreme kayak fishing tournaments, and they really are extreme. And I think we kind of come from the same background on that kind of stuff. We both like catching big fish off of the kayaks, and that's what the tournaments are all about.
Yeah, man, I really appreciate it, Morgan. Fun. I really appreciate it. And fishing in California, I mean, that's like totally different, right? I mean, you guys are going for like Yellowtail and stuff like that.
Yeah, so there's a few different options out here. There's like a few bays and estuary systems that you can fish for spotted bay bass and halibut. We get croakers and bonefish and stuff like that. And then out in the ocean, along the shoreline and the kelp beds. There's calico bass, halibut, white sea bass, but one of my favorite things to target are yellowtail and the bigger white sea bass, just because they fight so hard and really give you a good sleigh ride when you hook into a good one. And then we also have, good halibut fishing. Sometimes we catch thresher sharks and things. But yeah, yellowtail in the summertime is when they usually get a little thicker off of our coastline, and they're feeding on fin bait like sardines and mackerel.
Right.
And you're able to catch them like just free lining a live bait, or by casting what we call a surface iron. It's like a diamond shaped jig, but any kind of epoxy jigs like the Hobie epoxy jigs, or wax wings from Shimano, you cast those things at them and they blow up on them and just immediately start stripping line. They're a lot of fun.
I want to get a halibut, man. That's the fish I mean, that's like a big fluke. I'm from New Jersey, so I'm used to catching, fluke and flounder.
Yeah.
And,
it would be a fluke if you caught one.
Yeah.
If you caught a halibut. It would be a fluke if you caught a halibut.
Yeah. I really think, man, I mean, those fish are monsters. I mean, have you ever caught halibut?
Yeah. I have, yeah. In actual fact, I just had Mike Iaconelli come out here 2 weekends ago. He called me on Monday, and he was like, "Hey, man, I'm going to be in town." He was shooting a commercial for Rapala in Los Angeles, and he's like, "We're filming the next season of our Go Nike episode. So, how about you take me? Can you take me kayak fishing? Can we catch something?" So I was like, I wasn't going to say no to taking Mike fishing out in the ocean on a kayak.
Oh yeah.
So I said, "Heck yeah, man, let's do it." It's not the most ideal time of the year, but long story short, he ended up catching like a 21-pound halibut, which was pretty awesome. And he completely lost it and, did the whole Mike Iaconelli thing, which was awesome to experience and be a part of. But
that's cool.
They're biting right now, actually. I might have to sneak out there in the next few days after Thanksgiving and try to catch one.
That's cool, man. Well,
yeah.
I'll tell you what, Morgan. I mean, like I said, having you guys involved in the tournaments the way you are, and just knowing you and seeing what you're doing, catching these monster fish, man, it's definitely been a joy dealing with you guys. And I also wanted to ask, too, your new Mirage Drive. Now, I haven't personally used it yet. Actually, I sort of don't fish anymore because I can't even get out there. But so those ones, they go for the new kids, because we get a lot of young kids.
Joe has the second Mirage Drive ever. Literally, like his
I'm old school, Morgan.
He has like a 2010 Revo with the Mirage Drive that came with it.
Oh my god,
it is so hard to paddle.
Oh my god,
it is brutal, man.
But I was going to ask, we get a lot of young guys that that join the tournament series, especially the Summer Slam series. And with those new Mirage Drives, now you can go forward, backward, obviously, but the speed going backwards, I don't know why. A lot of kids always ask me, how fast do you actually go when you're just like pumping that thing backwards?
So yeah, with our Mirage Drive system, like with the propeller, right? With the propeller drive, it's 100% efficient going forward, but when you go in reverse, it loses efficiency because of the design.
Okay.
With our Mirage Drive system, the fins are flipping, around 180 degrees, so it's 100% efficient in forward or reverse.
Okay.
And so that's a cool thing about it. There's a lot of other cool things about the Mirage Drive. I think one of the most important things that a lot of people, from a manufacturing standpoint, is we've been making that thing for over 20 years.
Right.
So we've got it's a time-tested piece of equipment. And, it's funny you said you have a 2010 Revolution, and I think I remember when we were still talking with you when you were considering getting into a pedal drive kayak, because I think you're still paddling a lot.
I was in an ocean, actually.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm the same way, man. I caught plenty of fish out of my paddle kayak and had a great time on it. But I just became such a more efficient angler when I started pedaling with the Mirage Drive system, just because my line was in the water twice as much, and I could control my kayak while I was fishing, instead of, you know, maybe drifting in the wind or the current and having to adjust my fishing for that. But
I agree.
Yeah, we got to get.
I paddle in
two
it's
things,
tough.
Joe.
The wind brutalizes me.
Huh?
I paddle in the wind brutalizes me.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I'll tell you what, Morgan.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, the Hobie Mirage Drive, I would say, changed the game for our tournament series, because in the beginning, you know, when we first started doing them, you know, we had a good group of guys, but you could tell that these guys were getting worn out by noon, you know what I mean? And we couldn't get people like from all ages like we're getting now. I mean, we had a guy last year that was 75 years old that fished the tournament in a Hobie Mirage Drive, and it just changed the game, because it you know, now people from all ages can do it. Naturally, your legs are stronger than your upper body, and you know, you can last a lot longer out there. Like you said, you got two hands. And you could basically be a multitasker out there, which I believe you got to be a king at multitasking when you're offshore kayak fishing. So that really helps you. And yeah, man, I agree with you. I just really think it changed the game, especially for our tournament series that we've seen.
Yeah, you'll see guys you'll see guys who don't fish tournaments at all. I mean, they don't fish hardly ever. Like Kratz, for instance. And he's still able to go out and fish for 3 days in the Bahamas. 4 days in the Bahamas, and he's fine because it's efficient, you know.
Exactly.
You can't do that paddling. You have to paddle a lot in order to fish 3 days for 7 hours, right?
Yeah.
But you can jump on a Hobie and literally paddle or pedal all day.
Yeah.
It's no issue.
You're good.
Yeah, it really isn't hard.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier on your body, I think, than, you know, if you're gonna be an occasional angler, it's definitely the way to go. Your body's not gonna hate you as bad.
Like us, Joe.
Yeah, man.
We're only occasional anglers.
I know, man. I wish I can get out there like I used to, man. Oh my God.
You got to. You got to catch another one of those giant Dorado.
I know, man.
I remember seeing that picture.
That was a crazy
awesome.
day.
That was one of the craziest days ever, man. Actually, Fred, that's doing the podcast with me now, he was with me that day for the second one I caught. And, oh, my God, man, the line got wrapped around everywhere. I'm screaming. I'm like, Fred, jump in the water. Make sure, untangle the line. Like, I lost that mahi like 5 times, man. He kept spitting the sardine, and I'm freaking out. And, yeah, man, it was...
Oh, my God.
Those were the days, you know? Those were the days, right, Freddie?
It was a good time. Yeah, I was, like, under the kayak, like, off of my kayak. He's holding my kayak and trying to fight a fish. And I'm under his kayak, like...
Just chaos.
Unraveling line from the Mirage Drive and the rudder. It was a mess.
It was chaos.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, but we got it. I mean...
We got it. We were screaming like little girls, man. It was
so
nuts.
Funny. Yeah, it was a crazy
God.
day. That was a beast of a fish. Yeah, that thing was, what, 34 or 5 times?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I didn't weigh it, but it was a beast.
It was a monster,
you know what? And the reason why I asked you that one question earlier about the backwards is, like I said, these kids. So what they're doing is, they're going in the canals, right? And they're going to the bridges and they're catching like big snook, tarpon, all that stuff. And what happens is, so the beauty of your kayak going backwards is when that current's strong, the kids are paddling backwards full force, and they're able to stay in that spot and catch these snook. Which is really cool.
Gotcha.
So, and I only see the young kids doing it now, but it's going to catch on bigger and bigger, and more YouTube. You know how that goes. You know, some kid will make a YouTube video, and that'll start getting blown up too. But it's effective, man. I will say that.
Yeah, it is for sure.
Yeah, I've also tried slow trolling live baits going in reverse too. That's kind of fun.
Oh, yeah.
And like the yellowtail in the summertime, you get to watch him like smash your bait on the surface. It's really
that's kind of cool.
It's a cool thing to do, because usually, you know, you're trolling going forward, and you have your rods in a rod holder, or you have it in your hand, and you're just kind of watching the rod tip, and you feel the bait getting excited, and then you just feel the hit. But this way you can, especially if they eat it on the surface, you can watch it.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
kind of fun.
And I gotta ask you too. So the yellowtail, they kind of resemble an amberjack here, at least from when I look at them. Do they? But they taste way better, right? They're not really. Are they even a jack?
I think they are in the jack family.
Okay.
But they probably my favorite sushi, aside from maybe like bluefin tuna belly or toro, is hamachi, which is yellowtail. I think hamachi's farm raised Japanese yellowtail, but California yellowtail's it's not as fatty as like farm raised stuff, but it's really, really good eating, both raw and cooking. Yeah, and I think as far as they fight and stuff, I haven't caught any really, really big amberjack, maybe up to like 15 or 20 pounds. But I think they probably fight pretty similar to an amberjack, where they make long, hard, blistering runs, and they just don't give up. You know, they just keep fighting all the way till the end.
Yeah,
so
that's what people say.
They're really fun fish.
Yeah, they're similar.
I know
from what I hear.
You guys call the amberjacks reef donkeys, and kind of maybe sometimes get tired of catching them, right?
Oh yeah. Well, you know what's funny? So years ago, in our first like 2 or 3 tournaments, we had them as eligible fish because I felt like the anglers, they weren't really there yet with catching the consistent pelagics like kingfish and wahoo and stuff like that. So we made amberjacks one of the main fish. So of course, what happened was, for like 2 years straight,
You go straight to the
these guys would battle to go straight to the wreck, and they'd be on top of each other trying to get that one, monster amberjack to win the tournament.
Yeah.
And
Gotcha.
and then after like 3 years, we ended up scrapping it and getting rid of them, and because guys were way better at getting the pelagics. But they're a fun fish. If you're on vacation, if you come to South Florida, they're fun to catch.
Yeah, my buddies from South Africa, when they came, all Julian wanted to do, like, that guy could catch anything in South Africa. They can catch, they can catch mahi off the beach.
Jesus.
And he wanted an AJ. That's all he wanted, and he got whipped. He was 0 for 6 on AJs. With the wreck. Like, he went out like 5 days in a row after we got back from the Bahamas, and he got smoked on AJs. Like,
they'll whoop you, man.
They'll beat you down, man. It's a brute of a fish. Like, it's a monster. And he got smoked on AJs like 6 in a row, like in the same like 3-day span. And he was so bummed out.
Oh, wow.
And this is a guy he'll go out in his backyard and a half a mile off the beach, and he'll catch 50, 60-pound kingfish like it's nothing. And all day long they catch those fish. And all he wanted in life was an AJ.
It's the reef donkeys, bro.
It's a beast, man.
It's the way of life. Pompano Beach, baby.
Put it on you.
So Morgan,
Right.
I gotta ask you, okay, in closing,
Mm-hmm.
do you believe in aliens? So I'm gonna fill you in on something. So on this show, at the end, we always talk about either Bigfoot, aliens, ghosts, all that stuff.
I love it.
Yeah, we've had guests that have seen Bigfoot. Some have seen UFOs on the kayak. We actually had a guest from Transylvania that got attacked by aliens in a swamp on his kayak. It was unbelievable. So I got to ask, in California,
I want to experience that.
Yeah, what's going on with the UFOs over there, man?
So I look for them pretty often in the sky, and I've seen a couple of shooting stars and things like that, but I'm kind of a hard-headed realist, and I have to have a hands-on experience to believe things.
So you got to get diddled by the alien in order to believe it. You're gonna need to get abducted and diddled before you even.
You got to get probed before he believes
you got to get probed
it.
before you believe it.
And then I will believe,
Yeah, I'm with you, man.
Just because I haven't seen one yet, I can't say I believe in them.
Yeah,
but
I'm with you, man.
That's not to say they're not out there,
Yeah.
And they could also just be living in the ocean, really deep down there.
Yeah,
with the rest of the alien fish.
Correct.
Well, that guy from Transylvania said that they were in the water.
They were in the water, right? They were eating people.
They were eating Russian submariners. Like, that's what he said. Like, this guy was
Morgan, I'm going to send you that podcast.
He was a special guy, for sure.
Please do. I can't wait to listen to it.
Yeah, he said that they were like submariner.
Yeah, he had a name for these
Russians
creatures
that were being eaten by these like ocean-dwelling aliens.
Right. Well, Morgan, here's the thing, man. If you ever come in contact with anything that's paranormal,
call us first.
You need to give us a call, and we'll talk about it.
Don't call CNN. For sure.
Right. Call us first, and we will have a long discussion on it.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys are acting kind of like an alien support group for me.
No, we are.
And I appreciate that.
We're here for you, Morgan.
We want to make sure that you're probing Copacetic.
All right, Morgan. Well, listen, buddy, I'm going to end it there with the craziness. So we really appreciate you calling in, man. Like I said, I appreciate everything you do and what Hobie does for the tournament series. And, hopefully we'll have you back in soon. And, we got the Sailfish Smackdown coming up in January, late January. So, hopefully we'll have you in for that. If not, we got the Battle in the Bahamas right behind that. So hopefully we'll see you soon.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate you guys having me on and having Hobie on board also as a sponsor of the event, and just keep up the great work. And you make a lot of people happy getting out there, and you run a great event. So keep up the great work. And yeah, I look forward to chatting with you guys. And when I finally find an alien, I'll let you guys know.
I love it.
Or a Bigfoot.
So,
it could be a Bigfoot.
It could be a Bigfoot too,
we'll
or
set
a ghost.
We'll set it
Or
for a
ghost.
Bigfoot. We'll set it for a Bigfoot.
You don't have a ghost story? Like usually people got some kind of ghost story. Nothing?
No, dude, he's
Oh.
he's normal. Dude.
Damn, Morgan.
He's a normal person.
I know.
Normal people don't have ghost stories.
All right, brother, we're going to let you go. We're going to
I
stop
try to keep it
terrorizing you.
simple. All right, you guys. Have
All
a
right,
great
buddy.
one.
Have
and
a good one,
happy
buddy.
Thanksgiving.
You
All
too,
right.
buddy. Have a great Thanksgiving, man.
All right.
Gobble gobble.
All right, see
All
ya.
right. See you guys. Bye.
Hey, buddy.
So what do we learn?